Welcome back. So today we're putting together the pieces of what is honestly one of the most chilling urban anomalies on record. We're talking about the Blackwood Arena incident. In this explainer, we're going to walk through a truly terrifying sequence of events, and we're sticking strictly to the recovered footage, the evidence, and survivor accounts from a night where, well, a basketball game mutated into a literal nightmare. Stick with me here because we're about to step into a very dark, suspended reality. Okay, let's dive right into this. To really grasp the horror of what went down recently, we have to rewind to the 1990s. Now, as you probably know, the Blackwood Ravens were a legendary basketball club out in rural Cleveland. They had it all, right? Sold out crowds, deafening cheers, massive national broadcasts. But then, during the championship finals, the entire starting lineup just vanished. And no, they weren't injured or kidnapped, they literally disappeared mid-game. The arena lights died, and when the emergency power finally kicked in, the team was gone. Nothing was left but blood on a pristine court. After that, the arena was abandoned forever. Or, at least that's what the public was told. So for 30 years, this place just sits there, decaying. Fast forward to October 2026, and the story suddenly blows wide open again. Enter Ethan Cole. He's a college filmmaker who gets his completely anonymous email, no subject line, just a message that said, "If you want the truth about the Ravens, come to Blackwood Arena before midnight. The final game is still being played." And attached to this email, a single photo of the empty court. But if you look closely in the background, lurking right beneath the hoop, there is this towering, totally faceless player. And naturally, Ethan being Ethan, he just couldn't resist. So Ethan gets a documentary crew together. You've got Ethan directing, Maya on camera, Jordan doing sound, Chris, who's actually a former college player, and Lena, their paranormal investigator. They roll up to the arena right at midnight in the pouring rain. The building looks completely wrecked, but weirdly enough, the massive exterior floodlights are blazing. The second they step inside, boom, the heavy doors slam shut behind them. They are totally trapped in a lobby that smells intensely like wet carpet and horribly rotting meat. And the old promotional posters on the walls, every single player's eyes have been completely scratched out. Then, out of the pitch darkness, they hear it, the slow, heavy thud of a bouncing basketball. Dribble, dribble. They follow the sound straight into the locker room, and the stench of rot in there is just overpowering. Jordan swings his flashlight around, illuminating a huge, dark stain beneath the lockers. Carved deep into the metal are the names of the 5 missing Ravens players, and right underneath that, aggressively scratched into the steel, is one phrase: "We never left." Right on cue, every single locker door violently slams open all at once, revealing these old 1996 Ravens jerseys just dripping with fresh blood. Obviously, the crew absolutely bolts. They run out, and suddenly, the main arena lights power on, just completely on their own. And get this, they're looking at an arena with thousands of empty, dusty seats, but the court itself, pristine, freshly painted lines, gleaming hardwood. Then they glance up at the massive scoreboard. The game is perfectly tied, 66-66. Out of nowhere, a booming announcer's voice echoes through the PA system, welcoming fans, which is instantly followed by the deafening, earth-shaking roar of an invisible, massive crowd cheering from the empty stands. It is spine-chilling. Now, check this out. The game clock frozen up on the wall reads exactly 6:06. And if you know your history, you know this wasn't just some random time. According to the official police records from 1996, 6:06 is the exact split second the original game clock froze when that team vanished. Ethan and his crew hadn't just stumbled into a creepy old building. They had literally walked into a suspended moment in time. The game from 1996 never actually ended, you guys. It had just been waiting. And this is where a spooky investigation officially becomes a brutal fight for survival. Chris is absolutely terrified and tries to make a run for it, but he just freezes, dead in his tracks at center court. A basketball rolls right up to his sneakers. Rising up out of the shadows behind him is this absolute behemoth of an entity, 7 feet tall, wearing a faded Ravens uniform with these impossibly long arms and a face completely swallowed by shadow. It just calmly places a single hand on Chris's shoulder and with a sickening crunch, snaps his spine straight backward, dropping his broken body to the hardwood. The creature doesn't even hesitate. It calmly scoops up the basketball and dribbles it just one time, and boom, the scoreboard instantly changes. The Ravens jump up to 67 points. So the horrific reality of the situation hits the crew like a freight train. The game is actively continuing, and it is literally using human lives to score points. They aren't just filmmakers anymore, they are the opposing team. Down on the court, 4 of these shadow players are waiting. Maya realizes something absolutely crucial right then. Wait, there were 5 missing players in 1996, right? Right as she puts it together, Chris's broken body starts to unnaturally levitate. His shattered bones violently pop and snap back into place. His head twists around, and he stands up, now wearing a number 11 Ravens jersey. He's become the 5th player. Up above, the scoreboard flashes blood red with 2 words, final quarter. The exit doors chain themselves shut, and heavy, thudding footsteps start echoing from below. Now, what's really interesting and honestly terrifying about this next part is what Maya's night vision camera manages to capture as they scatter. Because these things down on the court, they aren't just your standard ghosts. Their faces look completely stretched out, almost like melted wax dripping off a candle. Their eyes are just hollow, black voids. Their jaws hang down impossibly wide. And the most disturbing detail? Their skin visibly writhes and ripples, like there's an entire hive of insects crawling around right underneath it. It's just this profound physical corruption. At this point, the absolute isolation really sets in. The main arena lights completely die, leaving only the creepy, dim red glow of the exit signs. Jordan is panicking, desperately checking his phone. 0 signal, just a wall of static. But then, a voice actually cuts through the phone speaker, whispering just one single word: run. The entities instantly sprint up the bleacher stairs, moving impossibly fast. Before anyone can even process what's happening, one of them grabs Jordan by the leg and drags him, screaming, down into the pitch black, suffocating darkness of the concrete stairwell. I want you to imagine the absolute dread here. They can't see Jordan anymore, but they can hear him. While the invisible stadium crowd roars with this deafening, thundering applause, the remaining crew members are forced to listen to the sickening, wet crunch of chewing noises echoing right up from the dark. These entities aren't just killing, they are feeding. Ethan and Lena manage to scramble away and break into the old commentator booth, desperately barricading the heavy door behind them. And it's actually in here that they find the master key to this entire mystery. Just sitting there on a dusty shelf is an old VHS tape with a handwritten warning label that says, "Final game, do not release." Ethan shoves it into a dusty old player, and through the heavy static, they finally watch the lost, unedited footage of that fateful 1996 championship game, right before the blackout happened. What the footage shows is a totally desperate halftime scene. The Ravens were getting absolutely demolished on the court. The coach storms into the locker room, and he's followed by this tall man wearing a sharp black suit. But here's the catch. This man had no reflection in the locker room mirrors. He was clearly not human. He offers the coach this dark deal, saying, "Give us victory, and the arena will remember your names forever." The coach, who is clearly blinded by his own ambition, agreed. So at midnight, deep beneath the court, the team performed this horrific ritual involving blood and candles, literally trading their souls for a shot at immortality. But come on, demons never make fair deals, do they? The supposed gain was ultimate victory and legacy, but the cost was unimaginable. During that final quarter back in '96, the players literally physically transformed into those wax-faced creatures we just talked about. They turned on their own audience, slaughtering and consuming hundreds of people in the stands. The authorities ended up permanently sealing the arena just to cover up the massive bloodbath. And sitting in that booth, Ethan realizes the terrifying truth: that game didn't end, and these entities are still trying to finish it right now. Out of nowhere, the speakers inside the booth explode with violent static, and a voice demands, "Final players required." The door starts shaking off its hinges. Maya screams because Chris, or, well, whatever is left of Chris, is suddenly standing right behind them. His jaw is split completely open. Black liquid is just pouring out of his hollow eyes, and he lunges forward, whispering, "Join the team." Ethan grabs a chair and smashes it over his head just to buy them a few precious seconds. Lena grabs Ethan and pulls him toward the court tunnel, realizing there is literally only one way they are ever getting out of this building alive. They have to end the game. They burst out of the tunnel and back onto the court, the arena lights blazing at full brightness again. The ghostly crowd is practically rioting, screaming louder than ever before. Ethan glances up at the scoreboard. It's tied, 67-67, and there are exactly 24 seconds remaining on the clock. Standing dead center on the court are the 5 monstrous shadow players, and sitting all by itself, right beneath the hoop, is a single basketball. The game demands a winner, and until it gets one, it is never going to stop feeding. So Ethan just sprints for the ball. The buzzer starts its booming countdown. 10 seconds left, the creatures charge, moving with this terrifying, unnatural speed. 9 seconds. Lena is grabbed from behind. Her screams instantly cut short as claws just rip straight into her chest. The hardwood floor actually starts cracking open, these pitch-black hands reaching up from underneath the wood. The invisible crowd is violently chanting, "Shoot! Shoot!" 4 seconds left. Ethan leaps from the free throw line. Time seems to completely slow down. The ball arcs and spins through the air. The shadow players are shrieking in pure rage. And with exactly 1 second left, swish. The final buzzer just explodes through the arena. The impact is so intense that instantly, every single light bulb shatters into a rain of glass. The creatures let out this deafening, agonizing shriek as they die. The hardwood court literally splits wide open, and this thick, suffocating black smoke violently swallows up the monstrous players one by one. The phantom crowd just vanishes. The walls shake violently for a few seconds, and then absolute dead silence. Now, the real-world aftermath of all this? Honestly, it's just as chilling. 3 days later, the police found Ethan wandering aimlessly on a highway miles outside of town. He was covered head to toe in blood and completely, entirely removed. As for Blackwood Arena, it had mysteriously burned completely to the ground. Not a single body from his film crew was ever recovered from the ashes. Officially, the police report chalked the entire incident up to hallucinations, bad drugs, and a mass panic event. As far as the public was concerned, case closed. But of course, the mystery doesn't just end there. A detective who was reviewing Maya's recovered, slightly melted camera footage ended up finding a massive anomaly. Deep in the video, right at the exact moment Ethan takes his final, desperate shot, there is a single, isolated frame that captures something else entirely. Standing right beside the hoop, hidden in the darkness, is a towering figure in a black suit. It's smiling, and it has glowing red eyes. It was the demon from 1996, just casually watching its grim bargain finally play out. Because, you see, a massive fire might easily destroy a physical building, but it absolutely doesn't break a demonic pact. In fact, according to recent local reports, if you go and stand near the burned-out skeletal ruins of Blackwood Arena at night, deep beneath the ash and the rubble, you don't hear the wind. What you hear is a distinct sound echoing up from the dark. Dribble. 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 It really leaves us with this chilling realization about the true cost of dangerous, unchecked ambition. A coach literally traded the humanity of his own team and the lives of his fans, all just to ensure they'd be remembered. So I want to leave you with this to think about. What would you sacrifice for ultimate victory? And knowing what's still bouncing, echoing beneath those ashes, is the game truly over? Thank you guys so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see y'all next time.